Yes, hi. Busy week this week. I made a mistake yesterday in that I re-downloaded Valorant. And I'm kind of like, I'm feeling that Valorant itch again at the moment, so... God, my eyebrows are a mess today. Don't look at them. Don't look at them. Don't look at my eyebrows. Don't look at my face. Don't acknowledge my existence on this day. God, my desk is so clean. I can't even show you. Down this static camera. I put all my costume stuff in one box and then I put like all the stuff that doesn't belong in this room in another box. And it's just, went and steam mopped all the floors yesterday and everything as well. That was nice. But I am going through that growing pain thing where you clean your desk and then suddenly you've got to move stuff around and your cables are too tight and you're like trying to yoink things to make it work and it's very difficult. So yeah, sorry for the lack of streams last week. The laggy got me. Just grabbed me. Tried to murder me. I spent all of Wednesday last week just on the sofa. Like, me, Will, and Talon went out on Saturday to the cinema. There was an entire adventure on that day, so I will talk about that in a minute. So, got to the middle of London and then had to get the Jubilee line to go to the O2 Arena. It's the only tube line that goes to the O2 Arena. With absolutely no warning whatsoever, as far as I'm concerned, the Jubilee line was closed. So it was like, oh cool, we're gonna miss the film. So then we ended up having to just get a black cab to the O2, which was like ludicrously expensive, like 30 quid. What the fuck, man? We go and watch Ant-Man, the new Ant-Man. I'm not gonna say anything spoilery. I will say I will not willingly watch it again. I'm gonna be honest, I like Marvel films, generally speaking, but it is certainly a film. It's a film that certainly got better in the second half. The first half, I was like, the fuck, man, what is this? It's certainly a motion picture. So done with Marvel movies. Honestly, they're just so mid at the moment. The second half of the film went somewhere and that was interesting, but like the second half was great because I left the theater. Okay, yeah, but there is also something to be said. So, okay, there was a scene that reminded me a lot of Star Wars, and it got me kind of thinking in the cinema. I was like, wow, this is such a Star Warsy style scene. And then I was thinking, well, it's not really Star Warsy style scene, because like a lot of films have that kind of scene now. But then I was thinking, it goes back to, bear with me on this train of thought. It goes back to like how I don't like the Beatles, because I don't think that anything musically the Beatles have put out has like blown my mind. But the thing with bands like the Beatles is you have to put into context the fact that back when they were producing that music, it was pretty out there compared to like everything else that was there. And it's the same for like Star Wars. So like the cinematics, the visuals, everything that was conceived for Star Wars was largely, whilst it might not have been the first of its kind by any means, and other films probably maybe did something first, it was the biggest. And therefore it had significant impact on other films that came out. So now we've got to a point where like all of these films have really, really similar, like bands have tons of similar styles to the Beatles. Films have a lot of similar styles to Star Wars, and like it's all really like passe because you're like, oh, I've seen this so many times before. So then when you go back and watch the original version, you're like, but I've seen this before. Loads of films have done this, but because you're not understanding it in the context of like its point in history, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Or when I got partway through Ant-Man, I actually just thought to myself, right now, I don't want to be watching this. I want to go rewatch Dune. Because that was also really, really good. I wasn't expecting to enjoy Dune either. And that was sick. Dune was fantastic. Dune was all set up, which you get, but it means I got to rewatch it. Yes. It's incredible that I think a setup film, and I know there's been films of Dune before, but like, let's face it, in the mainstream, it's a relatively unknown like entity. So for a setup film, of an unknown entity that you don't already have reasons to care about it. You're just going into it fresh. Like, I don't know these characters, I don't know this universe, blah, blah, blah. To go into a film like that and enjoy the fact that it's a slower setup film is really impressive. I think they did a really, really good job to actually get you hooked in with that, because I think any other universe really struggles. Any other setup films, they always get rated like sort of mid, and it's like, oh yeah, but you'll understand in the next film, and then it'll make the first film look good, which is how everyone felt about the new Star Wars. I think half of that was cinematography and music. It was good, but also like the writing, the actual screenwriting for it was really good, because I think that's what's actually, for me, letting most of the Marvel films down now. Screenwriting is shocking. Like, let's be honest. Has anyone seen the new Ant-Man? I don't want to put anyone off it. If you're going to go watch it, like, obviously go in with an open mind. I did. I saw that it had bad reviews, but I was still like, yeah, I'll probably still enjoy it. I think if I point it out especially, you'll notice it. Like the little snappy one-liners. It's awful, but going with an open mind. Yeah, that's what you do with everything. Hey, just because I say it's awful doesn't mean it's bad, objectively. What the fuck do I know? Every single person out there is bullshitting. You know, I'm not saying Marvel films need to make you laugh or anything, but there's a lot of comedic relief. And the thing that made me laugh most wasn't anything anybody said, and I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there was a one part where both me, Talon, and Will all absolutely burst out laughing, and it was, I don't usually laugh very loudly in cinemas, but like, it was just so fucking funny, and it didn't stop being funny for the rest of the film, and it 100% saved the entire film. So if you go see it, you'll know what I'm talking about, and that's all I'm gonna say. You already seen the part of the movie? How do I explain without spoiling? B. Does that help? B. You have to work your brain around it a little bit, but if you figure it out, it's pretty obvious. It's not a subtle thing. It's something very big. He's literally in the trailer. Oh, okay. Well, if he's in the trailer, hang on. I'm looking at a trailer. Okay, you know what? Yeah, is him? But you know what I mean. I gotta tell her to send me this screenshot. That top left is absolutely all you need to know. So fucking funny. And I don't read any comics. I just watch the films casually. Like, ah, nice, funny explosions. I wasn't expecting that. I hadn't seen any trailers. I don't even watch trailers anymore for Marvel shit. I don't care. And then I was faced with that, and it was the funniest shit. Anyway, so we went to see Ant-Man. And then we went for food, and it was just a really mediocre day. The only tube line going to that venue was closed. The film itself, mid. I got nachos. The salsa, garbage. I also said no jalapenos. I got jalapenos. I was like, I'm not mad. I like jalapenos. I just wasn't feeling them right now. But sure, whatever. I'll eat them. Went to go get dinner. The dinner sucked. I had like a salmon teriyaki bowl, and it was like the driest salmon I've ever had. Also like 10 quid. I was like, what the fuck, mate? It was so bad that I actually left a review. What a horrifically privileged day. Anyway, and then because there was no transport away from the venue, it was kind of one of those, we'll get there and figure it out afterwards how we're going to get home. Decided to get an Uber boat. I had no idea that apparently it's actually very regular. It's an extremely common thing on the Thames now that Uber have boats. So there's just ferries that go up and down the Thames, and it's Uber boats. How does it work? It's like, I don't know if you ever got like so I used to live in Gosport, which had a ferry that went to Portsmouth all the time. So I'm pretty used to like ferry services. It's the same sort of thing. It's just like a tube, but you go outdoors. So you're going outdoors, you queue, you tap your card, and then you just queue up, and then the ferry comes along and you get on the ferry. And there was a bar on it. You could get a bar, so I got a hot chocolate, because why not? It took 30 minutes to get from the O2 to London Bridge. I was just like, oh, it's an Uber boat. Also, Uber is just absolutely garbage, man. They just cancel all the time, and they're poo-poo garbo. Anyway, in good news, I found a really good new tattoo artist who does exactly what I've been looking for ages. He does medieval-style tattoos. A medieval-style dragon. Hell yeah, that's what I've been looking for. Look at this little lad. Look at him. Little medieval demons. Look at this fella. Just a demon roasting a mushroom on a fire. Medieval art is genuinely the best. No double buckets this week? I don't think so. Don't give me the fear like that.